I'm so grateful today to have as the person I'm interviewing Bishop Leah Daughtry. She is the presiding prelate of the House of the Lord Churches. Happy anniversary. Just about a month ago, you celebrated your first anniversary in that role. She started in politics before she could talk um, uh, as the daughter of radical parents. And she has worked, most famously, she was the CEO of the Democratic National Convention in 2008 and in 2016. And she knows how to run a program. And welcome, Bishop Daughtry.
Hi, Pastor Leslie, and all of you at St. Paul's. It's so good to be with you today, and I can't wait to be able to come and visit. The last time I was with you was for your pastor's anniversary.
That's right. You
Uh,
surprised me that day, but you got to see
yes, I
St.
did.
Paul's and picnic with us. We had a great time that day.
Yeah, it
And
was
so I'm
great.
really grateful. All right, tell us what we need to know about being Pennsylvanians.
Here's the critical thing. Pennsylvania has 20 electoral votes. And you remember someone becomes president by garnering 270 electoral votes. And Pennsylvania with 20 is one of the largest hauls on election day. And so being able to put Pennsylvania in your column is critically important to any candidate. Before 2016, Pennsylvania had been reliably blue. In 2016, that all switched, as you know, and Pennsylvania went to the red column, and those 20 electoral votes went to Donald Trump. Remember that Pennsylvania made a difference in 2016 by just 47,000 votes. That's not a lot. Those of you who live in Philadelphia know that's just one neighborhood in
Right,
the city is 50,000 votes.
right.
But remember now also, just to level set, right now, as of today, the Pennsylvania Secretary of State has said that there have been a record number of ballots returned, absentee ballots. And right now, according to the Secretary of State's office, over 1 million of those are from Democrats, and about 293,000 are from Republicans. So whichever side of the ledger you're falling on, don't be complacent. Make sure that you vote, keeping in mind that for the GOP, they tend to outnumber Democrats on election day. They make up the difference on election day. So wherever you are, whatever your candidate, whatever your color, get out, vote. You don't want to wake up on November 4th and say, I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda. What will you tell your children about where your vote was on election day? So get out, vote, but not just you. Go and find someone who hasn't voted, who didn't vote in 2016, and make sure that they have a voting plan. Make sure that they know how to cast their ballots. It's not going to be enough for those of us who voted in 2016 to vote this time. We need some more people to show up, not just to make the difference, but also to ensure that the person that is elected really represents the depth and the breadth of those in our communities.
Um, how do you stay engaged whether the radical vision you have gets realized or not?
Mhm. It's a good question because you're right. I do have very radical roots, and I'm very proud of them. For me, politics is the electoral process is one tool in an arsenal. And I choose to spend a lot of time on that. But I understand, and as I would encourage you all to understand, as a tool, it is not an end. It is not the end all. It's not the be all. And nothing, no radical change happens overnight. And I think that's where we make a mistake. We go to the polls and we vote and we expect change to magically happen, and it rarely does. This is a long game. And where we, particularly as African people in America, have to be focused is no matter what happens on election day, we have to hold those who are elected accountable to us and to our communities. We cannot elect them and then walk away and hope that they're going to do the right thing. We have to continue to fight. And I know that sounds exhausting and that's not something we want to always be fighting about, but We got to continue to fight and hold them accountable. Politics is the only job in America, maybe in the world, where we hire someone and then we walk away and never check on them. I have never had a job where I get hired and I don't see the boss no more. That's what we do in politics, though. We hire and they get sworn in, and then when we forget all about it. Let me tell you something. You have not done your job as a citizen, as an employer, if your elected official does not know your name. They should know your name. When they see you coming, they ought to say, uh-oh, let me do my mental check. I know that she cares about housing, gentrification, the schools, the water, the air, the streets. Let me make sure I've got my answer so that when my employer comes to ask me about how I'm doing, I can say, yes, Miss Jones. Yes, Mr. Smith. Let me tell you what I've done on your issue since the last time I saw you. You ought to be a pain in their butt. If I
Absolutely.
wasn't in church, I wouldn't say but. You ought to be a pain in their butt. And they ought to know you when you are coming. You are the boss. I stay involved because I know this is one way, in addition to being in the streets, in addition to economic pressure, to get our communities to the place where we all want us to be, where we can exercise our self-determination for our own liberation.
Thank you again for being with us. Um,
Thank you.
and can't wait to share with you again at St. Paul's Baptist Church.
Thanks, sis. Good to see you, St. Paul's. God bless you.